Good morning from Sweden. I hope you are well today. Well, this is today's energy reading, and we're asking the question, how does this hexagram want to move us today? How are the energies around us, and how can we best navigate them? Okay. I feel that we're going through some really tough times, and the last few weeks readings have shown that. Okay, so it's the end of a cycle, and we're moving into something new, and we need to release lots of things, right? And we need to look after ourselves. But at the moment, it is quite intense, I must say. But let's see where we're at today, okay? Let's see what's happening today. So let's start by moving into the present moment, releasing past energies. So breathe out, fully empty your lungs. Breathe in through your nose, into your stomach. Feel the stomach expand all the way around the sides, at the back, and then filling the lungs all the way to the top. And then breathe out through a pinhole of your lips. One more breath in, fresh air. And then breathe out what no longer serves, stress. And then one last breath, breathe in through the nose. Breathe in the present moment, and then breathe out. Release everything that is not here at this point, okay? Feel how you are rooted to the Mother Earth below you, okay? So, how does this hexagram want to move me today? And how are the energies around me? And how can we best navigate the energies today? Okay, what is your guidance, please? So we start with the inagua. So heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So one of these coins is marked, and that you can see a little black spot there. So that's today. We got Zun, wind, wood, and that's the Inagua, and it looks. And then we're going to do the upper. So how are the energies around us, and how do we best navigate them? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. So, water, kan. So, sun, kan looks like this. So it's kan, sun. So we've got 3 yin line and 3 yang lines, and yang, yin, yang, that one is correct. Yin, yang, yin. So the upper, the outer gua is correct. Have the lines in the correct places. And the top are corresponding. So no, so it's just these two that are corresponding. So we've got water over wind. So water over wind. So let's find out how this is changing and where we are exactly in this hexagram, in the energy of this hexagram. Does it want to tell us where are we exactly in this energy? Okay, and what are we moving into? So we have the first 6. So it's the first, we're right at the first stage of the energy of this hexagram, which means that one is moving into yang. So we've got Qian, Qian, and then water still there. So it's water, Kan, over Qian, which is heaven. And the approach, Gua, or the hidden hexagram, hidden Gua, which is 1, 2, 3. So we have lake, do we? And then we've got 1, 2, 3, fire. Fire over lake. So fire, Li, brilliance, lake, Dui. So we've got fire over lake. So fire rises, lake is water, so it sinks. So that's opposing forces, really. And here we've got wind over water over wind, which sort of stirs up the water underneath, and then we're moving into heaven, which is more stable, still water above. So we've got the water, which is replenishing, restoring energy, Gyan, which is heaven, it's a creative power. Zun, which sort of stirs up a little bit, this movement. It could be wood as well, and I think in this case it probably is wood. So you've got the roots of a tree going deep down into the water to nourish oneself is what I see here. But let's have a look in the book and see where we're at. So, but it's like the roots of the tree going deep into the water. It's almost like some trees are growing by the water, or just in the water by the sides of rivers, and that's what I see before me. And then what's approaching, what's hidden and what's not really, it's just bubbling under the surface, is fire over lake, and then, like I say, opposing powers here. So fire rising, lake with water sinking. So let's have a look and see what we've got. Kan, and then Sun, 48. That's a main hexagram, that's a main energy. Kan, Sun, 48, which we've had recently. And then Kan, Qian is what we're sort of touching at. Kan again, and then Qian, which is 5, which is needing, I think, which is nourishing yourself. So the water over heaven. So it's like a cloud really gathering up in the heavens above. Maybe not yet raining, we'll see. And then we've got Li Dui, which is 38. So let's start checking 48, which we've had the last few weeks. Exhausting, that's where we've been. So replenishing, of course, this is what I was talking about, the water, replenishing. And this goes back to what I said right from the beginning. We're going through some tough times at the moment, but that's because we're leaving the old behind and moving into something new. And those are scary times. And it seems like the universe is pushing, right? When we're not moving ourselves, we get pushed by the universe, and then things becomes really quite difficult. But then it's scary. It's scary leaving something that we know. It could be some safety, it could be an income that we have that is steady, and it's always scary to leave that if we need to feel like we're moving into something new. Or if we're moving from a situation that is well known, although it might be a bad situation, but it's still something we know. So it's always quite scary. And here needing as well. So it's about food to nourish the body and spirit, and we had this yesterday as well. I can't remember. We've had it many times lately. Okay, replenishing and needing has been happening. We had great accumulation or great exceeding, and we had to take, that was a few days ago, and had to take extraordinary action. And now we are just needing replenishing and restoring our strength again. And then 38, which is also it's diversity also. So to split apart. So replenishing. Let's start with replenishing. So this image here so yes, it's the wood here. So I thought it was wood, and I saw the image of this tree by the river bank, in the river even, with the roots growing deep, deep, deep into the water, replenishing itself with water. And this here, this ideograph represents the feudal system. So the landowners would sort of rent out pieces of land to people in the neighborhood or people living around there, and then they could live there and grow the crops and whatever they needed in exchange for labor. So they would help the landowner with whatever he needed. And then this one represents a well in the middle. So there was always a well in the middle. Like in any village as well, in the olden days, there was always a well in the middle because people needed to be able to get water to replenish themselves when you've been out all day working or all morning, and then you need to go and drink some water. And you meet by the well. This one also, it talks about how to do correct work. So be correct now is very important. And then also continue working on what you're doing, because doing the correct work, not becoming lazy and just sitting down. Like we need to stop and replenish and nourish ourselves, of course, because we're talking about needing here as well. It's like we are needing some nourishment currently with these two energies. But let's have a look at it. Replenish. The site of a village may be moved. So you can take the house, or you can move the people, right? You can even move the houses, I'm sure. And then they're actually doing this up in Kiruna, which is like a town or a city up in the northern Sweden. It's called Kiruna, and it's a mining town. And now there's lots of mines underneath the city, so it's about to sink down into the mines. So they're actually moving the whole village to more stable ground. And I think this summer they were moving the church. So they're actually taking. So yes, the site of a village may be moved, but not the well, right? The well stays. Neither loses nor gains, coming and going, drawing, nearly out of the well, break one's bucket, misfortune. Okay, break one's bucket, misfortune, nearly out of the well, coming and going, drawing. So a well would not exist unless we dug it. Okay, so now it's important to surround yourself with people who are correct people who are doing the work, people you can trust, people who are doing the work alongside you, that you are working together with. You need to avoid anyone who just seems like they are contributing. The ones that are just surface layer, everything that looks good on the outside, but it's not good on the inside. That needs to be ignored. Okay, so stay out of that, because that is draining you. Right? Anything that looks like something on the outside and is something entirely different on the inside actually drains energy because it's not aligned. It's wrong, right? And then so that just takes. So in order for something to be giving, it needs to be 100% truthful from the core and then all the way out. And then in that way, like a very pure heart, a person with a very pure heart can give and give from their well, right? But they have the strong boundaries. They have the boundaries and knowing exactly where they are, making sure they maintain their energy, but they can keep on giving and giving without actually being drained. And they can be among people without being drained as well. But be careful with who you surround yourself. Some people are just taking, okay? So right now, very important. Yes, so it's very important to really be around good people, okay, who are doing the work alongside you, who is providing alongside you, and then you can replenish together. Penetrating into the water and bringing the water up, it indicates a well. The well supplies replenishment, but it's never exhausted. So the well is forever, ever. Like it just keeps on giving water, okay? The site of a village may be moved, not the well, because the solids are in the central positions. Nearly out of the well, the achievement has not yet been fulfilled. Break one's bucket, there is misfortune. So what this means is we're not there yet, okay? We're going through this really tough period, I must say. And we're not there yet, but we need to remain diligent and truthful and sincere, okay? And like I said, surround ourselves with those kind of people as well. And then if we don't do that, we break the bucket. We're being really sloppy and we just keep banging the bucket and then it will break, right? If we're being very precise and we're very careful and very diligent and very caring, then it will be fine. But otherwise, don't be sloppy now, okay? Consider every step you take and then stop and replenish yourself as well, okay? Water over wood, an image of replenishing. In correspondence with this, the superior person encourages the people at their work and urges them to help one another. So now we need to help one another, okay? It's very important. So, and also it feels like it's a time where you don't take, this is not a time for battles, for quarrels, or although maybe the situation feels like it's very electric, just take a step back and just remain with the people that brings you energy, and then also make sure you are bringing energy into that situation as well, okay? So you need to cultivate your inner peace, although it might be very difficult at the moment, but you want to share love and joy. Very important, okay? So let's have a look at the changing line, which is the initial 6. So we're right at the beginning of this energy, and mud in the well, no drinking. Old well, no birds. Mud in the well, no drinking. The position is too low. Old well, no birds. As time passes, it has been deserted. Okay, there's no life here. Okay, this mud is very cloudy, so we can't really see very clear. And we can't drink of the water as well. The water level is too low, so this one is old. So no birds, I guess there's no one here to drink at all. Even the birds have left. Let's have a look. So this is not a time to move forward that much because we can't really see clearly. So the bottom line is yin element at yang place. It is at the bottom of the well where there is mud and no water. Nobody drinks, not even a bird. The lower gua is zun, wood, which also represents a cock. Thus the Yao text takes a bird as the symbol. The well is too old and not well maintained. The situation is bad. If one is in this place is not able to live in accord with the time and make adjustment, one will be deserted. Okay, yeah. So at this time, so if one of the is not able to live in accord with the time and make adjustments, one will be deserted, okay? So we need to be alert here and just check out the energy, see what's going on around us, and then move in accordance with that, okay? Don't make any great movements. And that's, which means that we're moving into the needing, right? Which is all about nourishment. And it comes after childhood. So actually this upper canon, which is, I don't know if it's called the heavenly canon. I wanted to call it that all of a sudden. That might not be correct. But before, first you got initiating, and then you got, let's say, so actually this is the story of life, really. And this is the story of the cycles. So first initiating, so we're starting the creation, and then we're responding to what's happening, and then moving into beginning. This is the beginning, okay? This is the absolute. First is like the Big Bang, initiating. This is like the force of new life or a new cycle, okay? So then we're moving to responding, so we're responding to that. And then from there, moving into the beginning. So this is the beginning. And then childhood, which is a small child. But a child needs nourishment, both mentally and physically and spiritually. And this is where we are at the moment. The major concern was water. And then we're talking about can over can. Let's have a look at the cloud over heaven. Yes. The ancient ideograph of Zeus shows the need for rain. There are two ways to interpret this picture. The first interpretation is that it is simply a picture of rain. It's a picture of rain, okay, raining down. The ideograph shows raindrops descending from clouds. The horizontal line at the top symbolizes heaven. Two vertical lines on the left and the right indicates the boundary of the clouds. There are 4 raindrops within the clouds, the vertical line in the middle, and 4 curved lines in the lower part of the ideograph represent the downward motion of raindrops. This image reminded ancient people that the primary need of the Tao is of eating and drinking is rain. Yeah, so without rain, there won't be anything. We need rain to grow crops. They need to drink as well as we. Anything that's living needs water. Without water, there wouldn't be any life. So the second interpretation is that of a picture of a man praying and waiting for rain. The upper part of the ideograph represents rain within the clouds, not yet falling. The lower part symbolizes a man. So we're praying for rain. The rain is not yet here. We're waiting for it, but it's about to come, okay? So, but we need to be patient at the moment. I think just watching, but staying alert. But don't get into any arguments, or don't, just remain loving and caring and open to other people. Stay away from people who are draining, the ones that look like one thing on the surface and something entirely different inside. Very important. So here it goes. Needing, being sincere and faithful, brilliantly, prosperous and smooth. So this is like, if we're being sincere and faithful, just being sincerely you, okay, and faithful, believe that this is going to change, or know in your heart that this is going to change. Everything changes, okay? You've been through these kind of emotions and periods in your life previously when it's been more difficult, hardship, which is another hexagram, which we had the other day. So being steadfast and upright, good fortune. So remain truthfully you. Stand up for who you are. Right? Without trampling on other people. This is just like being you truthfully, but being lovingly you, but being strongly you. And don't back away and don't feel like you're not valuable or anything. You are just perfect the way you are, and you have the right to take up just as much place as everyone else, okay? and to speak your mind. So favorable to cross great rivers. So this is difficult times. However, remain steadfast and upright, good fortune, and then it's going to be fine, okay? And here also it's talking about requiring faith and confidence to wait. Danger lies ahead. So just wait. We're alert, watching, waiting, nourishing ourselves, okay? And then we are moving into diversity, which is, the hidden energies here is to go against, to be incompatible with diversity. So it is like there's a lot of incompatibility underneath. And actually what I was talking about as well, diversity, like you got this, something looks like something on the surface, and then it's not actually like that underneath. And that's the kind of energy you got around you, not in you, but it's like in your sphere. And just stay away from that, okay? Other people can't see that, but you are acutely aware of this. And this is a very narcissistic energy. They portray something that seems really kind and gentle and loving and caring, but then on the inside, that's not it. Their actions show the truth, okay? And they are the opposite of that. So when you see this discrepancy, you know that if it looks really shiny on the outside, but the actions are not the same, they are not very kind, they're very selfish, very manipulative, then you know this is the kind of energy you got around you, and you need to stay away from that. Try not to get drawn into it. Try to move away from it if at all possible. Yes, so that's the hexagrams speaking to us today. Those are the energies of today, and I just remain yourself. It's going to be fine. It is difficult times, but just nourish yourself. Remain truthfully you, sincerely you. Be patient yet alert. Watch before moving forward. Make sure you surround yourself with the people who are doing the work, who are kind-hearted, and then avoid the draining energy, the narcissistic energy, okay? So thank you. I wish you a beautiful day, and look after yourself.